behalf of Dr. Kalam International Foundation and International Association for Quality Education. My heartiest greetings to Mr. Kamal Godar, President AIAFQE, Mr. Sudhakar Singh, President DKIF, Dr. Rashmi Tyagi, Patron DKIF, and Ms. Shweta Singh, Vice President DKIF. Today, as we all know, the webinar is on NCF Foundation stage. The session covers the need of NCF Foundation stage in schools, how to implement NCF, what is different approach than previous year. Today, we have with us Dr. Ritika Bhandari, a well-known and eminent personality in the education world today. I welcome her warmly on this international platform. Dr. Ritika Bhandari is HOD Chemistry, GHPS New Delhi, CBSE Resource Person, Master Trainer School, Health and Wellness Ambassador, author and podcaster, recipient of Educational Outreach 2021 Asia Pacific Excellence Award, Changemaker in School Award 2022, Outstanding Contribution in Education Award 2022, Mentor of the Year Award, Global Women Power Award, and many more. With more than 25 years of diverse experience in the field of education and as a resource person with COE Delhi and COE Noida, ma'am has conducted numerous online and offline sessions and capacity building workshops on topics like teaching strategies in science, learning outcomes and pedagogies, making authentic assessment in science, art integration across curriculums, experiential learning, happy classrooms, NEP 2020 school health and wellness, and many more. In schools like Amity International School Vasundhara, Rayan International School Rohini, Rayan International School Ghaziabad, St. Mark's School Paschim Vihar, Indian High School Dwarka, Technisha Public School Rohini, Brilliant Convent School Delhi, Mamta Modern School Delhi, Don Bosco School Delhi, Hilton Public School Ghaziabad, Pinewood School Saharanpur, St. Michael's School Ranchi, Jubilee Hill School Hyderabad, and many more. Conducted Facebook Live session for call-in learning on topics like art integration in science for middle school and primary school. Conducted session on dramatics and theater with science teaching in collaboration with Rangbhoomi, Mumbai. Invited as subject expert to guide class 10th, 11th and 12th student from Tagore International School East of Kailash, Delhi. K-12 Futuristic School and Bal Bharati School, Rohini, New Delhi. Invited by Matter School, Delhi to address parents on annual PTA journal meeting on the theme NEP 2020, Shaping the Future of Learning. Invited as guest speaker of honor at Maharishi University, Noida and Sushant University, Gurugram. Got an opportunity to judge inter-school competition for teachers on the topic Pedagogical Innovation in Teaching Chemistry in Sync with NEP 2020 and Bal Bharati School, Rohini. Invited by Dev Samaj School, Nehru Nagar as student expert to interview candidate for TGT Chemistry. Mentor team of science expert to create Science Olympiad for EduNext Technologies, Noida. Author of the Network of Chemistry, Good Luck Publisher, class 9th and 10th, and also reviewed science books for call-in learning series. Ma'am has also exclusive one-week course on Chemo Collective, 5 labs from V Labs from IIT Mumbai, and conducted teacher training on the same. Mentored student for science exhibition on state and regional level. Science symposiums, Olympiads, quizzes, and street plays. Ma'am believes in creating atmosphere that is joyful, stimulating, encouraging, and adaptive to various needs of the student, and share her expertise on activities, experimental learning techniques, and storytelling for the same. We welcome you, ma'am. Now I would like to hand over the session to ma'am.
Thank you, Zili, for the long and elaborate introduction. Thank you so much. And I hope today we will get insights on the topic NCF Foundational Stage. So before I begin and I keep sharing my screen, I would really love to know how many of you have any idea about NCF 2022 or the Foundational National Curriculum Framework. Any points which come to your mind when you talk of NCF, please write it in the chat box.
Ritika ma'am, excuse me, you have to because camera, your frame is not yeah, your face is
Okay.
you can shift a bit
Towards
right.
the left.
Mine is left, yours is right. Yeah,
Is
it is fine now. This is fine.
Right.
Correct. Right.
Okay. Are we getting any questions? Then I'll begin with the slideshow. Will anyone take the track of any comments?
Someone writes holistic approach.
Okay, great. What else? Is the screen visible to everyone now?
Another is well-being of the child.
Right, well-being of the child. What else? Okay, great. So the goal of NEP 2020 is every child in the age range of 3 to 8 years must have access to free, safe, high quality, developmentally appropriate ECCE by 2025, right? And if I talk of NEP, with NEP comes the NCF. Now, for those who are not aware what exactly NCF is, that's National Curriculum Frame, right? Now, any education policy has a framework, and this is a particular policy which is aiming at the framework of the foundational stage. We are talking about the first 5 years of the child when the child enters the school. Because in our earlier policies, which we had the 10+2 system, we were not talking about the foundational years. We didn't have any guidelines for what will happen to the pre-primary classes. What would be the curriculum? What would be the approach? How are we going to attain that? And the reason now why we are focusing is that the 85% development of brain takes place in first 8 years of the child. And if that particular time is kept neglected and we are not focusing, the foundation cannot be strong. And if the foundation is not strong, the building can't stand. So if we want holistic development, overall development, and we really look forward for global citizens with 21st century skills, what we require is an approach where we are actually looking at the early years. And in our NCF, these 4 beautiful points have been given that what is exactly we are looking for. So there's aim of education. There are certain curricular goals. There are competencies. And finally, the learning outcomes. And we have to focus on the learning outcomes, right? If we are focusing on the learning outcomes, only then we are going to reach to the competencies. So learning outcomes and learning indicators are something which help us to develop the competencies, because our aim of education is to have certain competencies in our students. So I just want to now ask you people, what is the difference between education and learning, or they are the same things? Please keep a track of the answers which we get on the chat box. Someone, what answers are we getting? What's the difference between education and learning? Are they same? Are they different? If they are different, how they are different? Anyone, please? If I don't get response, I think then I won't be able to interact with you more. Please. Sudhakar sir, are you keeping a track on the
Yeah. I think Sugandhi can do better than me, but then I am there. If she is not there, I am there. So I can see learning is lifelong.
Okay, great. That's a beautiful answer. Anybody else? Anything else which comes to your mind? The difference between education and learning. Come on, right? Whatever. I mean, you're always correct. Wow, we got one more answer. What's that? Okay, two more answers.
Both are similar, not same.
Okay,
Then
both.
another is education is schooling. Another is education is just another approach.
Okay,
And education is a process of learning.
okay, great.
Education is what we have to find out. It's about finding
Okay,
more. Nidhi Krishnani ma'am, we did not see any of your remarks here. Waiting for your answer.
okay. Let them write and I just move on to the differences. So for me, education is something passive and learning is something active, where we are moving from delivery to discovery. So education is maybe, throughout so many years, we have been just delivering the content. Though when we want to have competences, we want our learners to discover something. So it's just education is actually curriculum bound, whereas learning is more curiosity based. So going out of that box. Education is extrinsic, whereas learning is intrinsic, right? So that's the reason why our new approach is that student-centered. Our NEP says, experiential learning says student-centered. So from extrinsic, it becomes intrinsic. From repetition, it's more on creation. So we are not just repeating the content, but we are creating something new. From standardized, it becomes personalized. And from grades and certifications, we move on to skills. What does it mean? It means that it's just not grades and certifications. No, we have so many people who have completed their graduation, but still they don't have any skill. For 15 years, the children are in our classrooms, but still they don't have survival skills. So what we are looking for is more of skills rather than getting just certifications, right? So the National Curriculum Framework 2022 has this 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So the early 5 years, those are the most important years. That means when the child enters the school at the age of 3 and another 5 years when the child is there, we know there is increased pace of its brain development. So that's the reason why this particular stage has been restructured, both in pedagogical and curricular aspects. So this was our previous academic structure where we were hardly looking for the foundation and we were just concerned about 10 plus 2. But here we have a lot for our foundational stage. So this is the new pedagogical and curricular structure. So for age group of 3 to 8, divided it into two parts. One is 3 to 6, which is called ECCE, that's Early Childhood Care and Education. And age 6 to 8 is in class 1 and 2, and that's the primary school. And prior to this, at the age of 5, every child must have few competencies before the child enters class 1. If it is not, then a child has to go through a small preparatory class, which is called as Bal Vatika. Now, this Bal Vatika is multifaceted, flexible, multi-level, play-based, activity-based, inquiry-based. So this complete pedagogy is toy-based and play-based and activity-based. We are not using textbooks. Now, this is something which is very, very important. So the foundational stage has to be play and activity-based. The pedagogy has to be with ECCE. The focus has to be on the good behavior, courtesy, ethics, public hygiene, cleanliness, personal hygiene, and we have a focus on our teamwork and cooperation, right? So multifaceted framework means we have a lot of alphabets, language, numbers, counting, colors, shapes, indoor and outdoor play, puzzles, logical puzzles, problem solving, drawing, painting, visual art, drama, puppets, and so on, right? And this module has already been developed by NCERT. Now, what is the objective? The objective is to make learners competent in doing meaningful reading. So now this is something very, very important. It's just not reading. It is meaningful reading and writing by the time they enter grade 3. And that's the reason why in class 3, they have kept this SAFL exam so that they can gauge that children up till class 2 have acquired those competencies or not. Develop the basic understanding and competencies related to numeracy and its related concepts among young learners till grade 3. Then developing skills among the learners to amalgamate their outside experiences. So whatever has to be taught in a way that the child can observe from the surroundings. Those examples, those surroundings help the child to learn. It's just not through the textbooks. So that is something very, very important for this. So the curriculum, now when I call National Curriculum Framework. So national, because it is throughout the nation, everybody has to follow, whether they are CBSE schools or they are state board schools or any other board, they have to follow curriculum. Now the second point is curriculum. What does curriculum mean? The goals, the objectives, the syllabi, the content, the pedagogical practices, the assessment, the teaching learning material, the classroom and school practices, what kind of learning environment, and what is the culture of that institution where the child is going. Everything matters, right? So all that comes under your curriculum. So the framework provides you guidelines to make your learning environment according to what the guidelines are. So these are the curricular expectations. So pedagogy has to be playway and experiential activities. Mathematical thinking, a lot of numeracy, number sense, and spatial understanding. Then reading with comprehension. Again, reading with comprehension, just not that the child is able to read. When the child is reading, a child must comprehend whatever language the child is reading. Writing with understanding, a child must know what the child is writing. The understanding part is very important. And when the child is speaking, the child must have that coherent thought. So this is what we are looking for. It's just not reading and writing, but reading with comprehension, writing with understanding. Are you getting the difference? The previous time we were just focusing on the child can write and read. But if the child doesn't understand what the child is writing, or the child after reading can't understand what actually the content says, then it becomes useless. The resources are developed as per national guidelines, and there has to be formative as an adaptive assessment, right? So the national mission for attaining the goals of foundational literacy in the country has been directed by NEP 2020, and Nipun Bharat aims to achieve FLN. FLN is your foundational literacy and numeracy. And what is Nipun? These are beautiful acronyms which have been used in NEP and NCF. That's National Initiative for Proficiency in Reading and Understanding and Numeracy, right? So all these elements of Nipun Bharat are aligned with our NCF. So that's the reason why the NCF Foundational stage came in 2022 and the NCF School Education came in 2023 because they were first focusing on the foundational stage. So Vidya Pravesh, again, I told you this whole module has been developed. I'm not going into details, but this has been developed by NCERT and it is available with them. So if you think that your school or your children are not competent enough to go to class 1, you can have this 3-month module for them before they enter class 1. Now, the focus of ECCE is brain development, school preparedness, employability, overall growth, and improved learning outcomes. So main focus is this. And the foundational stage, when the child is from 0 to 3 years, when the child is at home, the child must get adequate nutrition, good health practices, responsive care, safety, and protection. And then what we are looking for when the child enters the school, we are talking of some developmental outcomes, which is physical development, motor, it could be fine motor skills or gross motor skills, socio-emotional development, cognitive development, communication, early language, emergent literacy, and numeracy. For all this, a beautiful Jadui Pitara, this has been created by NCERT. And this is all scientifically proven that whatever materials have been used as learning teaching material for the foundation stage has wonderful elements. So this is now available on Diksha platform in e-form also. Or you can visit NCERT and see what exactly Jadui Pitara is, and then you can use or you can create your own Jadui Pitara. You can get the content from there, or you visit the on the Diksha platform, the Jadui Pitara, and then you can start making it. So this has a core transformative aspect of NCF foundational stage, and the research from field as diverse as neurosciences to education has been used in creating this. There's a large shift play pedagogy to address FLN, that's foundational literacy and numeracy, and there is a flexibility to accommodate variety of local resources. So if they're bringing some element from Rajasthan, maybe kind of puppets, maybe they are getting something, some wooden material. They're not using any plastics in their Jadui Pitara because whatever they are using in this has to be eco-friendly. So they are keeping other SDGs along with your SDG 4, that's quality education. So this is basically a kit of play-based learning teaching material like toys, puppets, posters, flashcards, puzzles, worksheets, teacher handbooks. So you can visit even NCERT or online also. You can check what kind of materials are there. So I'm just giving you 1 or 2 examples like this. There's a ring set puzzle. So this is made up of wood, made in Channapatna, Karnataka. And this is for the development of fine motor, gross motor, and understanding of color and shape. So there are rings we all have played or we have given it to our children also. So it's a big ring, small ring, and that. So it has got different colors. So children can arrange it in increasing order of size, decreasing order of size, or you can just tell the child to pick up the green one or the yellow one or the red one. So that kind of things are there. So fine motor and gross motor skills and understanding of color and shape can be there. Then there are dingli. Dinglies are the cotton dolls. These are from Gujarat, right? Beautiful embroidered attractive colors they have, and they're made in small and large sizes, and you can use it for dramatic play. Then there is a kitchen set also. You can add a doctor set also. I mean, it all depends on you, how you want to create your own Jadui Pitara. But these are just some examples from NCF, what we have put. And the beautiful part of this Jadui Pitara is that it is available in 13 Indian languages, from Hindi, English, Urdu, Punjabi, Bengali to Sanskrit. So many languages are there. So it's not that you cannot, because when we talk of a local language, when we talk of giving instructions in multi-language, so we have this Jadui Pitara also in different languages. So if somebody is in Bengal, they can use Bengali. If somebody is in Gujarat, they can use it in Gujarati. That depends all on whatever suits your requirements. So exemplar correction of learning, teaching material, play-based pedagogy, these are all the points. Domains leading to holistic development, multisensorial activities are there. It's very easy to use, age appropriate, very attractive for children, because it's like, you know, every day they think that I'm coming to the school and what new magical thing my teacher is going to show me. And in that play way, the child is learning and finally reaching those competencies. So play is at its core. The play pedagogy is at the core. right? And it's like that's going to help the child to nurture a good attitude, curiosity, imagination, resilience, self-regulation, ethics, and aesthetics. So opportunities in Jadui Bitara are like reading stories, solving puzzles. There are situations for critical thinking. They can explore a lot, and there's a local content and rootedness. So you can connect the child with your own culture. And it is the toy-based pedagogy is not for entertainment. It is for learning. That's the beautiful part. So mental, physical, socio-emotional, all kind of development takes place. So the goal one, which is the developmental goal in NCF, is about the gross motor and the fine motor skills, the eye-hand coordination, the socio-emotional development, health and nutrition, hygiene, and